So I've got myself a winter ticket on a water that I used to fish a long time ago, and yeah, I'm quite looking forward to it, to be honest. It's November now, and I think this ticket runs till about April, so that's going to be nice to be on here over the winter months. Fishing Redhouse last year was quite difficult, so I thought I'd give somewhere else a go just for over the winter. I'll probably get back on Redhouse again next year. So Harley's been fishing this place. He's been on here about 6 or 7 weeks now. I think he's had about 15 or 16 fish out so far, which has been nice. He's had a few of the originals, which are real nice old fish, and yeah, he's had quite a few of the stockies as well. I think it was restocked about 2 or 3 years ago, so there's some nice young fish in here, and although they're young fish, they're really putting on the weight, so hopefully they'll stay active throughout the winter months, and yeah, hopefully we'll have a few fish over the winter. We came down here the other week, me and Harley, and we just did the night down here. We fished a couple of swims over the other side there, and Harley managed a few fish out, and I managed to get one out as well, which was nice to get my first fish out on my return to the lake. And yeah, well, it was a bit of a double take really. Harley had just got one of his fish in the net, and my rod ripped off, so yeah, it was nice to get a couple of fish out at the same time and getting on the mat for the video. And yeah, that was just a good session. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Really excited to get back down here, and I think it's going to be a really good winter water, to be honest. Got here at first light this morning. I hadn't even got the barrier unpacked yet. We're due a lot of rain today, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the bivvy up and get everything under the bivvy. I don't want to get everything wet straight away, so I'm here just for tonight, and probably till just after lunchtime tomorrow, so it's only going to be a short session. But I thought I'd try and get a nice little vlog out on the video from my first proper session back down here, and hopefully we'll bag a few fish. That'd be nice. So yeah, I'm going to get the bivvy and everything out, and get the rods ready to go, and then we'll see how we get on. So that's all 3 rods out on the spot now, and yeah, I'm really happy with how they went out. And I've actually decided to fish up against the island. Just turn this round, zoom it in a little bit as well. So yeah, I've decided to fish right up against the island. That's quite a prominent feature in the lake, so it's probably a good place to start. Got just a couple just straight out, just straight towards the island, and yeah, I've got them about half a rod length off the island. So yeah, they went out pretty spot on, to be honest. Nice little drop. I did have a little bit of a lead about when I got here earlier, and even though it looks quite snaggy on the top, there's not actually a lot of snags underneath the water. And yeah, as you come about half a rod length back off the island, there's a little bit of silkweed out there. So, but yeah, I've got a nice little drop there, and I think it just drops straight down. So I don't think it even shells down. But yeah, it's quite a good place to start, I think. And then I've got one just off to the right, about 4 lengths off the island, just in a little bit more of open water area. And yeah, put a little bit of bait over that earlier. Just fishing boilies on this session, and just gonna get the monster red in the Atlantic heat out there. I've just cured them and prepared them, which I'll tell you about in a bit. But yeah, the lake itself, I don't know how big it is. Just zoom that out again. I don't know how big the lake is. I think it's 20 odd acres, 22, 23 acres I think. And yeah, to the right hand side as it goes up, it kind of narrows off a little bit, and it also gets really shallow up there as well. And I think that's where the stream comes in that actually feeds the lake. And yeah, it's about 2 foot deep maximum up there, and it's really silty as well. I did fish up there before when I used to fish here, but it's probably a good place to go in the summer, I should think. Although I have been told that fish do come out up there in the winter. If it's a nice sunny day and the sun gets up there and obviously warms the water up a little bit, then the fish are going to get up there as well. To the left hand side, just down here, you've got the dam wall. And again, if I remember rightly, out in that area out there, it's about 13, 14 foot deep. And it just goes quite deep near the dam wall. And there's like a little sluice over there as well, where when the lake fills up, it overflows and goes into a little stream down there. And yeah, the lake itself is actually a bit of a dogleg shape, and it just goes down and then it just kicks off to the left down here. And down the left down there is pretty much the same as up to the right hand side. It's quite shallow and really silty and quite snaggy up there as well. Probably a good place to fish in the summer again. A bit of surface fishing down there. I remember used to do a bit of surface fishing down there. But yeah, lovely place. Like I said, when I used to fish here, mainly used to concentrate over the back there really. I never used to fish the field side very much. And I think, if I remember rightly, my actual PB zig caught fish is from here, and that was a 26 pound common. And yeah, beautiful fish. But yeah, really looking forward to spending time on here. Stock wise, I don't know how many what the stock is in here. We've been told there's about 300 fish in here. I'm not quite sure how many fish they put in on the last stocking, but I know Harley's had a few of the original fish out, so some of the originals are still in here. And there used to be 2 fish in here, one called Scar and the Long Lin as well, and they used to be upper 30s, maybe touched 40s at the right time of the year. So it'd be nice if they were still in here. We've been told they are, so that'd be nice. They haven't been out for a while, so it'd be nice to get one of those out. And there's not really a lot of people fishing it. I think there's only about 20 people fishing the place at the moment. So yeah, I'm here at the moment. It's Monday, and there's just one other bloke on. So yeah, it's brilliant. It's just how I like it. If you do know where the place is and you do recognise the lake owner's been kind enough to let me do my vlogs from here, but he has asked if I don't actually mention the lake. So I respect that. So if you do know where it is, I just kindly ask you not to mention it in the comments on the video. Yeah, I'd appreciate that. Just like I say, just respect his wishes. So, and also for the other people fishing it as well. Don't want people starting to turn up. So yeah. As for the weather wise, I think it's going to really chuck it down in a little while. It's starting to get quite damp now. The mist is all cleared up. And yeah, it feels like rain in the air. It's supposed to really hammer it down. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my chesties on, get my waterproof coat on, and get in the bivvy. Get myself tucked away, out of the rain. But yeah, check it out. I don't get much better than that, to be honest. This is just how I like it. Nice and natural, nice and mature. Just get nice tucked away. So yes, what I'm going to do now, get my chesties on, get my bivvy, have a cup of coffee and wait for the rain to come. And I might switch the fish on a little bit. So yeah, let's see what happens.
Well, check this out. Oh, got here nice and early this morning, and yeah, I knew it was going to rain today, so I quickly got the rods out, got the bivvy up, and it's absolutely chucking it down now. So, but yeah, the rods were out for about an hour, and this one ripped off. Check this out. Lovely linear, or a double row linear. Look at that. I've already weighed it. That went 23 pound on the nose. Check that out. Oh. I think this is one of the original fish as well. I don't think there's many of the originals left, but there's quite a few stockies in here. But yeah, this is one of the originals. What a fish. Check that out. Let's have a look at the other side. Bit of water in it. Yeah. And the monster red pop up. Trimmed down. I'm just using the hinge stiff rig again. Absolutely ripped off. I was hoping to get a few runs on camera, but because of the rain, I didn't really want to keep the cameras out in the rain too long, so let's get this one back. And I've got another one in the net to show you. Nice little common. Banging session. Here we are, second fish of the session. A little common. Not going to bother weighing it. It's about 14 pound, I reckon. As you can hear, it's absolutely chucking it down. So I don't want to have the cameras out for too long. But yeah, check that out. Lovely little common. Beautiful colours. Nice dark old thing. That I say old. I think this is probably one of the stockies. Yeah, check that out. Alright, let's get it back. That's a bit better, that one. It's a bit better, that one. Oh. Oh. This is mad. Same rod, same spot. Must have been about half an hour, I reckon, this rod. 24 pound 6 common. I thought it was a lot bigger, to be honest. It looked quite big in the net. But yeah, it's quite big across the shoulders. Put up a good scrap as well. Check this out. Lovely colour. Very nice dark whole thing. Ooh, look at that. 24/6. Come on. Calm down. Really angry. Really angry. Really angry. Come on, calm down. Get some pictures and I'll take them back. Check that out. On the Monster Red again. Really liking the Monster Red. Just boilies. No particle, no pellet. Just boilies with a bit of krill. Bit of krill powder on them. Look at that. Incredible fishing. So look at the other side. Pretty much the same on this side. It's got a little head of scale missing, so that'll be quite recognisable, this fish. It's trying to repair itself, the scale. Look at that. Love it. Just get some pictures, put it back. Brilliant. Check that out, 24/6. Love it. Brilliant fishing. Beautiful common. Let's get it back. And plenty more. There you go. So I thought I'd just go through the rig and the setup I'm using on this session. And if you follow my vlogs, you'll know that I like using this rig, and I've done really well on it in the past. And yeah, the reason I'm using this rig also is because I'm fishing up against the island, and even though I'm getting quite a nice drop, there's still a little bit of silkweed around there. And also there's a lot of trees on the island as well, and obviously this time of year they're now dropping their leaves, so there's going to be quite a lot of chod about. So I don't want to be fishing a wafter or a bottom bait around there, because I don't want my hook to get masked. So going in with the good old trusty hinge stiff rig. This is my favourite rig, I think. I think if somebody said to me, which rig would you use for the rest of the days if you only had one, I think this would be the rig I'd use. And yeah, on the top there I've got a Monster Red pop-up, and I've actually whittled that down. That started off as a 15mm pop-up, but I've actually whittled that down quite small to like a little barrel shape. The reason I've done that is because I'm only using a size 6 hook, and I want this presentation to be quite delicate. And if I put a 15mm boilie over a size 6 hook, that's not really a delicate presentation. So I've chopped that down nicely just to make that into a little barrel shape. If you notice on top there, I've got a piece of yellow zig foam, and I've got that on there for 2 reasons. The first reason is that's just a nice sight bobber, and the second reason is that's just going to give that little bit of extra buoyancy. Because I've chopped that boilie down, there's a good chance that's going to take in a little bit of water, so it might affect the buoyancy of it after it's been out there a while. So bit of zig foam on there just to give that a bit of buoyancy as well. That's on there with just a little rig swivel tied onto a loop there, and below that you've got one of our new size 6 choddy hooks. This is the micro barb version, and yeah, I'm really pleased with these hooks. Ready to sharp out the packet, and yeah, they're really strong hooks as well. So yeah, I've been really pleased with these hooks. That's tied on with a length of 15-pound mouth trap, and that's tied with an Albright knot just to a length of our 15-pound silk black coated hook link. This is a semi-stiff version. It just kicks out nicely. What I usually do is I usually put a bit of rig foam on every time I put this out, and then what it'll do, that once it hits the bottom, that'll sit up nicely, and as the rig foam melts, it'll then just sit down nicely onto the bottom. Also on there, I've got quite a big bit of putty. The reason I've got a big bit of putty on there is because I want this to sit quite hard on the bottom. I don't want it critically balanced. I don't want it moving about when the fish are around it feeding about. I want it just to sit nice and hard on the bottom. So yeah, I've just overweighted that a little bit, and then I've just stripped back a little bit of the coating of the hook link braid there, just to give that a little bit more movement as well. So going up, I've just got a little rubber sleeve there, and the hook link's actually attached to a quick change big eye ring swivel, and that goes onto the leader. So I'm using a helicopter leader on this session. Again, for those who follow my vlogs, you'll know this is my favourite leader setup. I use this for 99% of my fishing, and yeah, I think it's quite a safe leader setup as well to use. So starting off the bottom there, I've got just a 3.5 ounce lead, and the reason I'm only using a 3.5 ounce is because I'm only fishing 20 wraps, so I don't really want anything heavy to bang it out there. I'm quite easily hitting it with 3.5 ounce lead. Going down, I've just got the heli safe on there. Again, if you follow my vlogs, you'll know that I don't really agree with the heli safes on a helicopter rig. I think with a helicopter rig you need a fixed lead on the end, just to give that leader a bit of resistance if you do crack off and you've got a fish pick it up. I think if you haven't got any resistance on the end of that leader, there's no way the fish is going to pull that bead off. That'll just pull the leader about. So yeah, I always think it's a good idea to have a fixed lead, but the rules on here state you've got to drop the lead, so I'm using a heli safe. On the bottom there, I've just got a bead on the bottom there. I've got that push right down. I'm not really fishing over anything that the lead's going to sink into. That's not going to drop into any silt or anything, so I don't really want to be fishing the rig too far up the leader. And then, like I mentioned, I've got a big eye ring swivel on there. The reason I use a big eye ring swivel is because that does move up and down quite nicely, and it'll pull over that rubber bead there nicely as well, the tapered bead of the drop-off system there. So, and then on there, just the conical bead and the safety bead on there as well. And the good thing about these is they're really safe, and it will just pop off like so. If a fish picks that up and it gets snags and it wants to come off, it'll just come off there, and then it'll just come off the end of the leader, and the fish is just left trailing the hook link. So, and finally, we've got our new lead-free leader material here. I'm really excited about this stuff. It's totally lead-free, but it sinks like a brick. It's really heavy, and we've had this specially made for us. I got it last week. It actually arrived last week, and yeah, I've been using it, and I'm really impressed with it. I've actually been using the samples of it I've had for the last couple of months on and off. Yeah, and I'm really happy with it. Like I say, it sinks like a brick, and it's a lovely camo colour as well. So this will actually suit any bottom. You can fish this over weed, you can fish it over silt, and you can fish it over chod as well. That's a really cool camo colour. So yeah, all of our leaders are going to be made out of this from now on. So if you're interested and you want to have a look at our leaders, you want to have a look at our hooks and all of our other stuff, I'll leave a link to our website up here. Go and have a look, and I'll also leave a link to the website in the description of this video as well, and I'll also leave a discount code on there as well. So yeah, that's the rigs and the setup I've been using on this session, and yeah, it's been working well for me so far, and yeah, it's looking good out there now. So hopefully we'll snare a few more fish. check this one out. Another lovely common. Daytime bite again, same spot, same rod. Lovely. Have a go on this. Oh, come down. This has obviously been on the boilies. Check that out. 27.5. Getting bigger. Some lovely commons in here. Oh. Let's have a look at the other side. Yeah. On the hinge stiff rig again. Just a little whittled down monster red pop up on there. Angry. It's tensing up. Oh. Yeah. Just over a scattering of the monster red boilies. A few little Atlantic heat boilies in there as well. Cured with acryl powder. Check that out. Let's get some pictures and get it back. Well, what a session. I wasn't even going to come down here today, to be honest. I was going to wait till next week before I went out fishing, but yeah, I was itching to get out, so yeah, I'm glad I did. Yeah, that first mirror is definitely one of the original fish. It's got to be. It's definitely not one of the stockies. And yeah, the commons were nice as well, so yeah, really pleased with that. But yeah, what a beautiful place. It's now starting to get dark. I think it gets dark about 4:30 now, so yeah, it's been quite a crazy day. It's now starting to get dark. So yeah, speaking to Harley, he reckons he's only had one fish at night. The rest of his fish have all come in the daytime, so yeah, nice daytime bite, so I can deal with that and get a nice night's sleep. So yeah, I can deal with that. So yeah, like I said in my last vlog, October was going to be a bit of a washout for me, which it was for fishing wise. I actually had to go to Mexico for a month for work, but we managed to do a little bit of fishing whilst we was out there. The factory we went to, one of the guys there took us out on his boat for the morning. We only went out for about 3 or 4 hours. But yeah, we went out at first light, and as we were going out, the sun was rising. What a beautiful sunrise it was, going out into the Gulf of Mexico. And yeah, we were just doing a bit of lure fishing. Went with my mate Daz and my mate Sam, and we had a few fish between us. Daz and Sam had a few nice trevally and a couple of big ones as well. I just had a few little trevally and a little groupers and some other little fish as well. I don't know what they were, but yeah, we were just doing a bit of lure fishing, which was fun, and that broke the trip up a little bit. But yeah, I'm definitely glad to be back now, and yeah, glad I got myself a little winter ticket on here. Like I say, I'm on here till April. Whether I'll join the full ticket next year, I don't know. I'm actually waiting for another ticket to come up that I've got my name down on. And it's a very special place as well. I'm not going to say where it is at the minute, but yeah, I'm hoping that comes up. If it does, then yeah, that'll be good. I'll be able to get some nice vlogs done from there. But if not, then I'll probably just drop back on Redhouse again in the spring and continue where I left off on there. Really enjoyed my year on there this year. Think I did quite well in the end, to be honest. That was hard going at the beginning, but all my hard work and effort paid off. And yeah, I really enjoyed it on there. Had some nice fish up to £30. So, like I say, if this other ticket don't turn up, I'll probably get back on Redhouse again and continue where I left off on there. So, but yeah, everything's soaked now. Really hammered it down today, and I think we're due a little bit more rain tomorrow as well. It's getting quite dark now, so you probably can't see. But yeah, we're due a bit more rain tomorrow. So, but yeah, it's just nice to be out, and it's quite mild as well, actually, considering us coming towards the end of November. But there are definitely still a few fish rolling out there every now and again. And keep seeing a little bit of fizzing up around the island as well, so yeah, it might still be time for another fish yet. So I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to switch the camera off, get myself something to eat because I'm a bit hungry. I ain't had enough to eat all day, and get myself a nice coffee and chill out a little bit and see what happens in the night.
Good morning. Very quiet night again. Yeah, had a good night's sleep. Did hear a few fish boshing out last night just to the left hand side, but I think they'd actually moved into the deeper water, so yeah, fishing around the island's probably not the best place to be fishing at night, but yeah, I enjoyed a good night's sleep. And like Harley said, most of the bites he's been getting have been coming in the daytime anyway, so yeah, I do prefer a nice daytime bite, and that's nice for getting the photographs as well in the daylight rather than having to use lights and a flash. So yeah, that's nice to get a few fish in the daytime. But yeah, I did hear a few boshing out, and I think that's just down to the left hand side here, which is just off the dam wall there. Like I said yesterday, I think it's about 13, 14 foot, which is the deepest part of the lake here. It actually shallows up just in front of me, so yeah, fishing in the deeper water is probably the thing to do at night. But what I think I'm going to do in a little while is I'm going to just bring that left hand rod in again, the one I had the fish on yesterday, and I might just redo that, because when I put it out, it didn't quite hit the clip, and I'm just a bit worried that it might have just tangled a little bit. So yeah, I'll bring that back in again in a little while, and I might just put a bit of fresh bait on the spot as well. Sound of the spot hitting the water and a bit of fresh bait going in might draw the fish back into the island. So but yeah, I've just seen a fish just stick his head out the water just out there, so they're definitely moving about. But yeah, it's a nice foggy morning this morning, really damp, but it's not too cold, to be honest. It's quite nice. Put my coat on, but it's not that cold, it's not that chilly. But hoping this mist will clear away in a little while. And I've got to be off about 3 or 4 o'clock this afternoon, so I haven't got to rush anywhere yet, so hopefully we'll have a few more bites throughout the day. And yeah, just finished my coffee, and I might just put that rod out again. Fish on. Strange what take that was. It just noticed that the line had pulled around. It didn't even give any bleeps or anything on the alarms. Just noticed that the line was pulling around. Just caught into the right. Right, so I don't go over the other lines. Like one of the stockies. Oh, still on that line. That'll do. Little job. On that, lovely fish.
check that out. Oh, wait, calm down. There you go. It's very tense, it's very angry little fish. Check that out. Yeah, weird bite. The alarm didn't go at all. I just noticed the line had pulled around to the right, so it must have just kited on the tight line. But yeah, another one for the tally. Look at that. Let's have a look at the other side. Oh. All right, chill out. These are going to be stunner fish when they get bigger. I mean, this is a stunner fish already, but imagine that at 30 odd pound. Check that out. Love it. Awesome fishing. Same hook bait, same rig. Right, let's get it back. So my baiting strategy on this session has been boilie only, and I think that's how I'm probably going to fish this place through with the rest of the winter. It's a nice easy way to fish as well. Harley's been doing quite well on the boilie, and he's also spoke to a couple of guys who fished here, and they've been using pellet and particle, and they've been pretty much getting breamed out. So yeah, I want to try and avoid the bream over the winter and just try and keep the carp feeding. Also, it's nice and easy to fish with boilie as well. All I've been doing with this is just putting a few spoms over each spot, and yeah, it seems to be working for me so far. So what I've been doing with these boilies here, I've actually been curing them. I've been using the Monster Red and the Atlantic Heat, and I've been curing them in the Monster Red glug, some of the sea stim powder, and some of the krill powder as well. And then basically what you end up with is that really nice coated boilies, really attractive, and that'll actually stay on till it hits the bottom, that will. And then once they break down, that'll just leave a lovely bed of attraction around your area, around your hook bait. So what I do with these then, so basically it's very easy to do. I just usually do a couple of kilos at a time. I find that easier to work with. Any more than a couple of kilos then becomes a bit difficult to start shaking about in the bag. So if you want to do more than a couple of kilos, then I'd just suggest to do 2 or 3 batches. That's what I do, and then I'll just put them in the freezer and I take them out as and when I need them. So what I do first is I just take, like I say, a couple of kilos out of the freezer, then I'll put them in a mesh bag or an air dry bag, and I'll give them a good shake about. The reason I do that is because I want to get rid of all the ice. You don't really want all water in the bottom of your bucket or in the bottom of the bag when the ice defrosts, so it makes everything soggy. So try and get as much ice off as you can. Then what I'll do is I'll get a plastic bag, and I'll then transfer the boilies into the plastic bag, making sure they're still frozen. Then what I'll do is I'll just put a bit of the Monster Red glug over the top of it, create an air gap in the bag, and then twist the top, and then just give it a really good shake about. The reason I do this is when they're still frozen, is because the glug seems to stick to the boilie a lot better. You've got like a wet surface going onto a frozen surface, so it seems to just cling on a little bit better. And also when the boilie defrosts, it seems to draw the moisture in a bit better as well. So yeah, just give them a good shake about. Don't put too much glug in to begin with. All you want to do is just give them a coating. If you put too much glug in, then you can make it just too soggy, and then the coating in the end, when you put the powders on, it's just all soggy and it doesn't go dry. So put as much in as you need. If you need a little bit more, just put a little bit more in. Then what I'll do is I'll leave that for a couple of days. So I'll just leave it in the plastic bag and perhaps put it in a bucket. I've got mice in my shed, so I put it in a bucket to stop the mice getting to it. And then after a couple of days, I'll go back in there, take the bag out again, and then I'll just take some of the sea stim powder and I'll sprinkle that in the bag, and then I'll just put some of the krill powder in there as well. And then do the same again, just create an air gap in the bag, twist the top, and then just give it a really good shake about and give it a good coating. I don't think you can put too much powder in, because once the boilies are all coated, any excess powder that you've got left in the bottom of the bag, you can just put back in your bag that it came out of, or just leave it in that bag for the next time. So then I just give them a good shake about again, make sure they're all covered,
and then I'll just leave them in the shed again for a couple of days. If I do happen to go in the shed in between that, I'll just go in there and just give them another good shake about, and then I'll, if I'm going on a session, what I'll do is I'll take as much as I need out and take them with me. The rest can go back in the freezer for next time. And yeah, that's pretty much what I've been doing, and that's the result. You get a nice coated boilie, and yeah, they're really attractive. So yeah, that's what I think I'm going to be doing for the rest of the winter. I'm just going to keep this going in. Again, try and keep a spot going, try and keep an area going, and see if we can keep the fish feeding. I think once you stop feeding fish over the winter, once you start the bait going in, the fish seem to switch off. But I think if you keep the bait going in, keep fish in the areas, keep the bait going in and keep the fish on it, I think they'll keep feeding throughout the winter. So that's going to be my strategy through this year, or through this winter anyway, and hopefully we'll have plenty of fish on the bank. Check this out. I've got all the gear on the barra, just getting ready to go. Just the rods in left to get in, and the left hand rod went again. One near the island. Unbelievable. Check this out, I've just weighed it. We were told there was a 30-pound common in here. Hopefully that'll behave itself. And here it is. 30 pound, 2 ounces. Get that. What a session. What a session. Oh, it's nice to come somewhere and catch some fish. Had a really hard year last year on Redhouse, so I decided to come on here for the winter. And yeah, I think I made the right decision. Whew. Yeah, blown away. 30 pound too. It looks like it's got a bit of koi in it, to be honest. But yeah, I thought that common I had yesterday, that 27 pound, I thought that was going to be the icing on the cake, but yeah, this is definitely it. It's now getting dark, so better hurry up with this one. Oh. Oh. Calm down. Look at that. Yes, look at it. All its glory. Brilliant. So yeah, don't forget to check out our Instagram and our Facebook at Carpy Connection and Carpy Connection, and also give our website a look as well. I'll leave the address down in the description. Don't forget to like and comment on this video. The more likes I get, the better it does on YouTube. And that makes all my effort worthwhile then. And yeah, hope you enjoyed this vlog. I haven't really had a lot of time to do a lot of filming, to be honest. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I've been here catching all these fish. So yeah, let's get it back. Until next time, be lucky.